What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I have some good news to talk about today, and it looks like we will be able to avoid a default. So it looks like the Senate has just voted. They approved the cloture vote. So what that means is now they can move forward when it comes to raising the debt ceiling. And so this is really good news. It's really good news. You might think, well, this is not a stimulus check, or this is not a child tax credit, or how does this help me? Well, the reality is if we default, if we're in a situation where they do not raise the debt ceiling and we default, our credit rating will suffer. And just like if you, let's say I have a credit card and I spend on that credit card and I don't pay that credit card and I wait 30 days and now I have a delinquency on my credit account. And so once I have that delinquency, my credit rating will suffer. So let's say I had an 800 credit score before, I don't pay that credit card, that 800 now becomes 690, okay? Now, if it's 690, when I go and try to get a loan, guess what? I have to pay more because my interest rate will be higher. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to the U.S. government. We have a rating, and all countries have ratings. And if we default, then our credit rating throughout the world will suffer for that. And if our credit rating suffers, it can affect all of us. So this is very, very important. And so I want to talk a little bit more about this and just kind of talk about the different strategy, because there's a strategy behind this. You have Democrats and Republicans kind of taking their own strategy. And this is all going to be based on next year. 2022. That's what the focus is. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first off, on this channel, we talk about money, news, and more. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And make sure if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so the good news is that we'll be raising the debt ceiling. And the other good news story that's not really being talked about is we've gotten past the shutting down of the government. So they're not going to be shutting down the government. We'll be able to fund the government, which is good. We'll fund them until February. That's okay. At least we can move forward. And they're now going to be able to raise the debt ceiling. And so now the next thing on the list is Build Back Better. And so we're looking at a situation where this can be, they could focus all their attention on this, because I'm telling you, these two things that we're talking about, the government shutdown and raising the debt ceiling, these were two very, very important things, and they had a real short time frame that they needed to focus on those things. So now that we're getting past that, it looks like we can be in a situation where the Build Back Better plan will now be at the forefront, and now they can talk about this for the rest of 2021. So it's not that much time. I mean, I know we only have, 2.5 weeks left, or almost 3 weeks. And so it looks like we're in that situation where now they can focus on that. But let's talk a little bit about this debt ceiling, because like I said, this is one of those situations where you have Republicans and Democrats kind of taking a different stance when it comes to this. Now, Republicans, they don't want to be tied to the debt ceiling at all. And even though part of this debt ceiling, raising of the debt ceiling, has to do with what happened in 2020. So the money that was being spent in 2020 and some of 2021, that's what they're focused on right now. Okay. And remember, when it comes to raising the debt ceiling, it's really ridiculous why this is even a thing. But basically it looks like this. You spend money, and then after you spend that money, then they want to vote. Congress wants to vote and approve raising the debt ceiling so they can pay for all of that spending that they did. So this is past spending. This is not future spending. So when it comes down to it, it's pretty ridiculous. No one does their books like this. You and me, when we make purchases, we know, hey, I made this purchase. I'm going to need to pay for this. There's no, oh, you know what? I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to use my credit card. I'm going to make this purchase, but I have no intention on paying for this. Okay, if we did that, that would be reckless, and that would hurt our rating, right? Our credit rating. And so that's what Congress is doing right now. You have people in Congress arguing about, should we pay for the things that we spent money on? So it is ridiculous. But you have Republicans on one side saying, you know what? We don't want to be tied to this at all. And what their strategy will be in 2022 is their strategy is going to be, look, we don't spend. It's the Democrats that spend all the money. And we know that that's not true. And hopefully, I mean, just all you have to do is look back at previous administrations. Okay. Go back 20 years, 30 years, see how much money politicians are spending. And we've had Democrats, we've had Republicans, and guess what? They're all spending money. They're all adding to our debt. So when we really sit down and look at some of this stuff, and I mean, it's just ridiculous. But believe it or not, some of the American people will look at this next year in 2022, and they're going to say, yep, you know what? Democrats spend too much money. We need to get them out. We need to put Republicans in place. But I can guarantee you, and you mark my word, we can, let's just say 2022, usually what will happen is you'll have a shift. If you have the Democrats are controlling the White House, the Democrats are controlling the Senate, the Democrats are controlling Congress right now, usually there's a shift in that midterm election. So we'll probably see the House go over to the Republicans, maybe even the Senate go over to the Republicans. But I can guarantee you, when that happens, they're going to be spending money just the same way that Democrats want to spend money. I can guarantee you that. And we can look back on this in 2023 and 2024, and I will guarantee you that we will still be spending more money than we're taking in, and we'll be adding to the debt. So that's what we're looking at right now. When it comes to this raising the debt ceiling, Democrats will go ahead and vote on this. You'll have 50 Democrats that will vote for it. You'll have Kamala Harris, the vice president, coming in. She'll break the tie, and then they'll move forward. Okay, so the cloture vote was basically to avoid a filibuster, and they have agreed, look, we're not going to filibuster. The Republicans are not going to filibuster this and basically hold it up. They're going to allow the vote to go through. And by them allowing the vote to go through, guess what? They're saying, yes, this is important. We do need to raise the debt ceiling. We just don't want to vote to raise the debt ceiling, but we will get out of your way and let you vote to raise the debt ceiling. So that's pretty much what's happening right now. We did have 14 Republicans that came on board when it comes to the Senate to vote for this cloture vote to allow them to move forward. Now, I know this is all confusing, but just understand it along these lines. The debt ceiling will be raised. We will not default. And now we can move forward with this Build Back Better plan. And so now we're going to be focused on, what does Senator Manchin want? What does Senator Sinema want? How are we going to be able to get this done by the end of the year? And I said this in previous videos. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if we'll be able to get something done in December. I think this is one of those situations where it's going to be pushed off into January, and then we'll have to see what they do there. But I showed, and this is about a week and a half ago, check out my latest videos, and I showed you exactly what they took out of this Build Back Better plan. And it's pretty much a lot. It's everything. I mean, there's not much left in it, but I just wanted to put that information out to you guys. If you guys have questions, post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And remember, we do daily videos here, so make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified when I put these videos out. And a lot of this stuff, I mean, this is one of those things, it's day by day. Things change that quick. Okay, you can have someone come out, or a politician come out and say, yes, this is what we're going to have in this new Build Back Better plan. And then the next day you hear Senator Manchin say, oh, you know what, I'm opposed to that. And it just changes that quick. So things change on a daily basis, and that's why we're here every day. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.